Well, this is the colony that swarmed the other day. It's the glass hive. It's the I-wave hive. I don't know what you want to call it, but it's the hive that swarmed. My first hive that ever swarmed. I must have forgotten something. I must have let them get a little way from my inspection eye for queen cells. And look, this box, I let them go crazy. What was I trying to do? Well, I had a queen cell in there, actually several of them, and I was trying to make a split. And I kind of neglected them for a little bit, and they got out of hand. And they made this wonderful, beautiful comb. But why did they make that and not use the frame? I don't understand it. I mean, you could just fill that up. But as you can see, all the brood has pretty much hatched out. And the cells, I don't even know where they're at. And they're filling it with all kinds of nectar. Which means we are in a flow. And we could be making some honey. Maybe I should just forget the queen idea and just let these guys go back to the colony where they were and make me some honey. And I'm looking for a queen because theoretically there should be one in here. Maybe some sign of eggs, something. But I don't see much of anything except for a bunch of displaced bees with no mama to take care of them. Yep. Hopelessly queenless. Well, let's take a look below. I'm using a double screen board that I made of my own to separate this from the major colony on the bottom. That way they have the heat to help them stay nice and warm. And look at all that beautiful comb. I guess they had to do something with all that energy. So this is the colony that swarmed out the other day. Doesn't look like they have a whole lot of resources on the side here. Doesn't look like they're doing much of anything. Oh, there we go. They're bringing in a little bit of nectar. Yeah, now that's more like it. Alright. At least they're doing something here. There's no brood, but they're bringing in all kinds of nectar. We can do something with this. We'll let them make me some honey. So right now I'm thinking just recombine everybody together and let them hatch out. But what is this? Don't know. Let's see if there's anything on the bottom that may change my plans. And here's my queen excluder, so no babies can be up here. And nothing down here. Looks like it's dry. No food, no resources. Oh, okay. Now we're getting a little nectar. And what is this? That's a queen cell. And what is it right next door? we have a couple of queen cells that have hatched out. They look like a can that's been opened up, and the lid flopped to the side. We have had at least 3 or 4 queens come out. Now where are they? I don't see any eggs, but there's 5. There should be 5 queens in here. I'm going to set that to the side. Okay, I don't see any queens, but I see a lot of brood. Capped brood. That means there hasn't been a valid queen in here for quite a little bit of time. And there's another one of them cells. So the queen's been AWOL for quite some time. Look at them cells. We've got queen cells 2 on this side, 3 on this side. What about the other side? My goodness. 2 more cells. Alright, we have still some cells that might possibly be hatchable. And we've got more brood ready to hatch out. Alright, so maybe we can divide this up. Oh, there's another cell. Well, now I'm definitely thinking about dividing this thing up. That's easy. We got 2 frames with brood on it. And in queen cells, we can make 2 splits. There's another cell. And another one. Alright, we can make 3 splits real easy. Just shove a frame in there and... yeah. We got plenty of cells. More brood. And more cap brood. So we've got plenty of resources. Lots of bees. We just need a couple queens. That's the plan. I'm going to make 3 splits. But I also want honey. So, the debate. The thinking process. Is it possible? I'm thinking, how can I make this into 3 queen hive with honey capabilities? Well, let's take a look and see if these queens are actually viable. I don't see a queen ready to hop out of here, and it looks kind of dry to me. I'm wondering if they're actually dead. Have they been stung? I don't see any holes in the bottom. Not really moving a whole lot. I don't really know what a queen looks like when it's that size. Does that look like it's dead or alive? I don't know. I think I'm going to take a shot at it. I mean, they got no queen, so what else can I do? So I'm going to try for 3 queens. I'm going to put one of the frames of queen cells down here in the bottom with a bunch of resources. And just wait it out and see if something hatches. There she goes. Now, in order to keep the queen from mixing with the ones on the top, I'm going to use this queen excluder. In order to keep the queen from touching the queen in the cells frame above, I'm going to use 2 queen excluders. And I'm going to use an inner cover, and so they have a way to get out on the second hive up. That's the plan. Now I'm going to use these queen cells to try and make the second attempt. And the ones that have hatched out, I'm going to remove them, and so that I don't get confused later on and think that a queen hatched out, when indeed it already hatched out a long time ago. So now I can watch this cell, and if I see it opened up, I know that's a new queen, and she should be in here. And here's another queen that's been already released. So we have 1 possible queen in this hive. And I'm going to move these frames over to give them a little bit of warmth capabilities because they're hanging out on these frames. And maybe this queen will stay nice and warm and hatch out. I'm going to fill the rest with the empty frames that they had up at the top. And I'm going to add another queen excluder, so that queen cannot touch the one on the one up top. And another inner cover, so the topmost queen can get out. So this will be queen number 3. And in theory, they should be able to move throughout this colony, top to bottom, wherever they want, share resources, but not share the queens. I'm going to fill up the extra space with some foundation. And here goes queen number 3. The next cell looks viable. I don't see any poke holes in the side. We'll give it a shot. And here's another queen cell. So they've got at least 2 shots in here. I'm going to move it to the outside so I can watch it through the glass and see if I see a queen pop out. And I'm going to take this comb that they made so nice. I'm going to frame it up. I'm going to use some of my wax that I processed, melt it down with my torch, and use my paintbrush. And layer by layer build up the wax till it actually holds together. It's a little bit fragile when it's still kind of melted, but with patience it starts to set up and it becomes a little harder. I mean, if the bees can do it, I should be able to do it. I'm going to use my torch, pulsate the flame several times to get the wax to melt without burning it too much. Dab my brush in there and re-melt the brush because it becomes stiff like a rock. I'm going to even patch up this little tear in the frame that when I kind of reshaped it a little bit. Doesn't quite look the way the bees do it, but should hold together. And even the bees approve. I'm going to put this on the outside so I can take a look and see if they do anything with it. Something to watch. And I'm going to knock off the bees that were on that divider board and put everything back together. And it looks like the bees are approving of the new accommodations. Now, in order to keep the foam on the outside of this box from sliding all the way to the bottom, I'm going to use some of this signs cut in strips, and that should stop that foam from sliding all the way down to the bottom. Foam is right now acting as a way to stop the sun from coming in. During the winter months, it's supposed to help insulate the hive. And I'm not sure if it really insulates so much with all the corrects. But I also forgot something. That one last frame. And I think I have a home for it. I just got a call that somebody would like to have a queen cell. So here we go.